Should he have one, though?
He should. He should. And the reason why he should is because too many basketball critics are quick to insult him and not show any appreciation for what he is. Here's the knock against Carmelo Anthony. We could sit up there and we could talk about, oh, everybody can dissect, he shoots the ball, he doesn't pass, he don't play defense. They can say all of this. Here's the bottom line about Carmelo Anthony, and this will forever be attached to his career. He was no LeBron James. And the reason why you say that is because he was drafted 3rd overall. LeBron was drafted 1st overall in the same draft. Darko Milicic was drafted 2nd. But here's the top 5 picks, Molly, in that draft in 2003. LeBron was number 1. Darko Milicic was number 2 because Joe Dumars was running the Pistons. They were en route to titles. He had Tayshaun Prince and those boys. Didn't need Carmelo, so he thought he needed a big. All right? Carmelo goes number 3 to Denver. Bosh was number 4. D-Wade was number 5. Okay? And Bosh and D-Wade teamed up with LeBron to get their rings. And so what you have is a situation where Carmelo Anthony is the odd man out. So inevitably, when you look at him, you say, damn, that's the draft. And look at LeBron going to 8 straight finals, 9 overall. D-Wade's got 3 rings, plus he was an NBA Finals MVP without LeBron. Chris Bosh played the 3rd wheel of help. And what has LeBron done, or what has Carmelo done? Carmelo went for the money from Denver to New York to Oklahoma City, now to Houston, et cetera, et cetera. But what they're not realizing is that Carmelo Anthony, being who he is, has always been a prolific scorer. And the reason why I personally come to his defense is because I covered the Philadelphia 76ers for 10 years. I covered Allen Iverson every day for 10 years. By the way, he says hello to y'all. He watches us every day. He loves y'all.
Oh,
he and I just spoke the other day. Allen Iverson was a scoring machine. He was a defensive liability. His definition of defense was trying to steal a basketball because he couldn't guard anybody straight up. But he was a scoring machine. And so what...
I don't even have to set the traps for you. You walk into him yourself.
I am. So listen. So Larry Brown and Billy King and Pat Croce did something for Allen Iverson that no one has ever done for Melo. And that is this. This is who we have. Let's evolve everything tailor-made for his skill set to cover him in his areas of deficiencies. That has never been done for Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo's the one who tried to force the trade to the Knicks.
Yes, he did force the trade.
Right, he forced the trade to the Knicks.
He did force
so,
the
like,
trade.
that's on him. You know, you went to an organization with a low IQ in those years, especially.
Excuse me.
That's what happens.
They won 54 games with Mike Woodson as their head coach.
That's because Carmelo's a baller. Carmelo's good enough. Now, look, should he have a chip on his shoulder? I'm glad he does. He has something to prove. Good. I said he's one of the top 5 players under pressure this year. But if what you mean by that is he's getting criticized and doesn't deserve it, then no, he shouldn't have a chip on his shoulder. He is correctly criticized. That doesn't mean Carmelo, the human being. That doesn't mean people are saying he doesn't have offensive skills. This is what I'm saying. Carmelo has made a whole lot of money, right? But hasn't done a whole lot of winning. Now, if you have a long enough career in this league and you're in a position of leverage that he's been in because he's a superstar and has been a superstar, at a certain point, you run out of excuses. Now, that's why I say he's under pressure this year. Now, look.
Go ahead. By the way, you're digging yourself a hole.
Okay.
Keep going.
You talk about Iverson. AI actually got to a finals and won a game in the finals against a team that looked unbeatable at the time. In fact, that's the only game that the Lakers lost in that whole postseason. And that was one of the worst teams to ever get to a finals. AI led them. You look at centers who weren't even drafted. 3 players who weren't even drafted in the same draft, right? Olajuwon, then Ewing, then because he was in the military, David Robinson later on. Now, Ewing may have been the worst of those 3 if you had to put him in order. I love Ewing, grew up watching him and everything. But he never won a championship, but he got to 2, Stephen A. He got to 2 championships as the best player on 2 different teams that made the finals. Carmelo Anthony, he doesn't have to be LeBron James. Can he be Dwayne Wade? Because Dwayne Wade is a multiple-time champion. And what's the difference between Carmelo and those guys? Those guys played defense. So if you're an offensive player, I'm not blaming him for the league changing from under his feet, right? The style of play changed. He was acclimated to a different style. His skill set was for a different league. But he didn't play defense, and he's not as good as Dwayne Wade, let alone LeBron James.
First of all, let me tell you why you lost this argument. Because Max Kellerman raves about GMs like Danny Ainge. Yep. He raves about GMs like Masai Ujiri. We understand that they're great. Yep. You forgot one person that's one of your all personal favorites, Mr. Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is in Houston. we say the same kind of things about James Harden on the defensive side of the ball, but we still rave about his greatness. Why? Because he has an elite executive running the organization that he plays for that went about the business of tailoring what they do around this man, and they got to within one game of an NBA Finals. You look at Carmelo Anthony, he was at Denver, Mark Walker team before Masai went
You like
there.
James Harden more than me. You like Harden more than me. I like Harden too, but you think he's better than I think he is.
Listen,
Please.
Melo's player efficiency has gone down every year. You should have a chip on your shoulder just based on that.
You're wrong, Molly. How you just get to say that and then go to commercial?
Oh,
Why you get to do that?
When we come back.
Oh, look at that.